Hello, I'm Reverend Diane Russell here at Vision. We've just seen some of the news and we felt like a prayer before the regular uplift would be very, very appropriate. So join me right now. Know with me that there is one mind, one heart, one beautiful and perfect wisdom that guides and guards this country right now. I know that God is only peace, harmony, goodness, and love. And I know that what is going on right now has nothing to do with God or love or peace. So this powerful presence, which is God, can calm a storm, can open a heart, can make brother love brother, and all this other stuff doesn't matter in the middle of love. So I know right now that there is a wisdom at work, that there is an intelligence at work, that we are uplifted. Our consciousness right now adds to the collective consciousness, and that what we want, what we know in our hearts is peace. And we know it for each other, we know it for this country, we know it for the people that are involved right now. We know their safety, we know their open hearts, and we know peace for everybody. I know that there is a lot of upheaval, and I know that that is an expression of something greater coming up, that this chaos feeling is just birthing a new, greater, brighter future for all of us, that out of the chaos comes order. And so right now, I focus on peace, I focus on love. I know it for each one of us, and I know it for our country and for the world. I allow these words to be taken in fully and completely. I know that whatever we see that is ours to do, in whatever way we can help, we do that thing. And right now my heart is filled with gratitude for the knowing that God is in the center of this, that God is here, present now. Thankful, grateful, lovingly, I let these words go. And join me now in knowing the highest and best always. And so it is. Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's Uplift. Today we're going to be talking about blessings and gifts. But first, of course, we're going to start with a prayer. So just gently close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And know with me that there is one perfect life, one perfect intelligence, one perfect wisdom. This one is spirit, it is God, it is whatever you want to call it, but it is that principle and power that birthed us out of itself, that each one of us is a living, breathing example and expression of God. And so right now, I want to focus on the blessings in our life and the gift of health. I know that there is a perfect pattern of health in every one of us, that God made us perfect and complete, and that anything unlike health is our own filters showing up in physical form in our bodies. And so right now, just know with me that the pattern of health that we are is bigger than that. And that we let any of those other thoughts and ideas and whatever that other stuff is, we let that go. We let it go now. We enjoy vitality, and we enjoy freedom of movement, and we enjoy beautiful, blissful health. I know that there are so many blessings in our lives, and that as we look for them, and as we are grateful for them, they expand. There's more of them. These gifts from God just show up. And so, having both of these, our health and our blessings, I am grateful. I am grateful for this teaching. I am grateful for this opportunity to be in service. I am grateful for each one of you. And I let these words go into their completeness. And join me now in saying, and so it is. Okay, so thank you for that. And today, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about our blessings and our gifts. I know that everyone is pretty anxious to get rid of year 2020, to get it out of here and just get it gone. Or maybe to pretend that it never happened, or just kick it to the curb. And I do understand that sentiment. I know we've had a lot of losses, and it's been a very unusual and different kind of a year. We've lost our activities, we've lost people, we've lost jobs and income, hugs, the connections we have with each other, our community, and so on. However, I do believe that there were also gifts and blessings that came from this time. And we can choose to focus on that. And remember, we are always taught that in all things give thanks. For some folks, life has not been much different during the pandemic as it was pre-pandemic. They still went to work, they still had the same household members, and their routine was largely unaffected. For example, both of my brothers and their wives both had their jobs, they went to work, their lives didn't change that much. They came home, they ate dinner, they watched TV, same like always. For me, all my work came to a screeching halt last March, and I know it did for so many others. And also all of our social activities. Some of us had a really hard time with that aspect of this whole thing. And of course, we could never have known how long it would be. I remember the last Folky Monkey that we had here. I was working over there in the galley with my counterpart, and she was talking about flattening the curve and the 2 weeks that we would be at home. I hadn't even heard of the curve yet, but I figured we could do anything for 2 weeks. At that point, I didn't mind being at home to help the cause. And I found that there were other ways of being in service from home. People made choices about how they dealt with their newfound freedom and choices about what to do. I'm just going to take this time right now to look back and see the gifts and the blessings that came from this pandemic, and I know there are many. For example, here at Vision, we were talking about live streaming the service for a long time. It was going to happen, but just not sure when. And suddenly it had to happen. There was a huge learning curve for everybody involved in the filming and the producing of the Sunday service. And guess what? They did it. There was so much new to learn. And the equipment and the technology and the programmings, it's mind-boggling, really. But Spirit knew. And Spirit is intelligence and wisdom, and so are we. The team behind all this expressed the intelligence and the wisdom of Spirit. Now, because this wasn't supposed to be too long, Reverend Patty offered to provide an uplifting message every day to help us get through this time. In the beginning, she was here every day filming, plus doing the Sunday service. Every day. Along the way, the staff ministers and the practitioners were invited to participate to give Reverend Patty a break. And then we also learned that if we record more than one session at a time, you can actually have a day off. No one foresaw that we would be doing this 43 weeks later. And so we are blessed and grateful for the dedication of the team and for also the faithfulness of you guys watching. And that you plan your day around watching and being uplifted. It's so interesting and inspiring to see how each one of us approaches the uplift in a different way and how our individuality comes through. Spirit is creative, and so are each one of us, as demonstrated by the variety of the uplifts that we have made. During this time, the contributions that support Vision have continued, and also during this time, our lease came up for renewal. All that had to be renegotiated in the middle of a very crazy time. Both things show the generosity of Spirit. And it expresses as people and as circulation. It also demonstrates the wisdom of Spirit and that we are good stewards of our resources. And those blessings and gifts are just here at Vision. If we take a look at year 2020 individually, there are even more gifts and blessings. These are some of the ones I know and some that I have heard people talk about. So first, many of my colleagues and friends have talked about how they have had the opportunity to go deeper. They've gone deeper in their relationship with Spirit, and they have deepened their spiritual practice. Many people who were able to keep working do so now remotely, working from home. They're able to work in their comfortable environment, avoiding the stress of commuting and traffic. And guess what? They can have lunch in their own kitchen. This seems like a great blessing to me. Many people have had time to start or maybe complete a project. Some people learned to cook. Of course, then there was the eating part. We became very resourceful during this time. Some folks who normally travel for work were grateful for not having to be on the road all the time and actually to be at home. Through technology that we were forced to use, we're now reaching more people in way more places. I heard someone say that the human spirit always finds a way to connect. A blessing for some is learning to use the new technology and using it in different ways. A personal example of that was, for me, in September there was a ministers' conference, and it should have taken place in Sacramento. Of course, it couldn't happen that way, so it was done through Zoom. The speakers were brilliant. I very much missed seeing my colleagues, but knowing myself the way I do, I may not have heard as much of the speakers if I had been there in person, because I would have been looking around, waiting to see who was coming in next and waving at people, and doing it this way, watching it on my computer, I was more focused, so it was quite different. I've heard a lot of people say that they learned how much we took for granted and that we have a new sense of appreciation. Some folks were grateful that they were being at home with their very best friend. Because of masks, people feel that they are looking deeper into who people are, maybe even looking into their soul. We've always heard that the eyes are windows to the soul. Now we get to really see what that's like. The bottom line for all people I have heard talking is that they are grateful. There have been many blessings if we choose to look for them. For me, I think one of the blessings or messages of 2020 is to know what's really important. You get to decide what that is for you. I know for me it is connection, and that is to spirit and to each other. We don't know what 2021 will bring, but we always choose what we see. Be sure to look for the positive and the uplifting parts. Love your family and your friends, and be kind. I love and miss you all. Remember that you are the light, and that your light makes a difference to me and to each other and to the world. Thank you. So just join with me now in another prayer. Yes, we're praying again. Join with me and know that there is God and only God, and that God is right in the middle of us and right in the middle of everything else. And that makes it all good. God is with us always. And we are the wisdom and intelligence of God. We are the creativity of God. We are the reaching out, the heart of God, the connection, the spirit. We are all of that and more. I look forward to seeing everyone again soon. I know that everything is unfolding just as it should, like always. And so right now, I just let these words be complete, knowing they are done in physical form. And say with me now, and so it is. Bye, everybody.